Hello, my lovely listeners. That's the third attempt because I was trying to record it and trying to say what I was going to talk about, and I just ended up bursting and laughing every time because I've been going through some turbulences and some ups and downs. And really, when I was thinking what I would be talking to you about today is how the body experiences emotions and feelings and what's happening with the body, and how we position ourselves, how we can calm our nervous system, and also how going into new situations triggers the nervous system, triggers the old patterns, old wounds, and how you can look at those from the position of you who hopefully have done some self-development and some self-healing, maybe therapy, maybe coaching, maybe listening to spiritual people who are talking about their own experiences and going through and explaining about the psychology and the spirituality behind it. So recently, like I said, I've been going through some new experiences that are not new in terms of I've been through similar things before, and these are to do with relationships, and these are to do with how I feel going into a relationship and meeting a new person, new people, and getting emotionally involved, and how this impacts me. And yes, I'm wondering if this is something that you can find yourself in as well, or you see that as similar. So let's say when you were 20, you had a relationship, or when you were 18, whenever you started, you had this relationship and it was a long relationship and it ended. Let's say you broke up with this person, so then you go through the process of kind of grieving, going back and forth, and you learn about yourself, and you know how it is, how you feel when you're sad, and you probably look for other people to quickly fill this void, or you go and withdraw a little bit, you spend time with your friends and you really have fun, and you really look after yourself, and then you cry a little bit, and then you move on and you meet another person and you think, wow, this person is much better. Everything I've learned from the past person, I can now see that this person has got, and I'm not going to do the same mistakes. And a couple of months or years in, and you are like, this is not working, I am sad, or you feel betrayed, or you feel abandoned, or you are or you put this person on pedestal, or you you don't feel as much loved as you would like to, or vice versa. You starting to get an ick towards this person. You see they've weak points. You see, I don't know, that they drink too much, or they are too angry, or they abuse alcohol, whatever it is. And in whatever stage in your life you are, and whatever kind of relationship you are going through, I would assume, if you are aware, and I would assume if you're listening to this podcast, you are aware and you want to look for answers, and you are searching within yourself. Sort of first thing is always who can you control? You can control yourself. You cannot control other person. You might be able to influence this person by doing this and that, or showing them. And obviously, two people in relationship change, but the only person you can control, and the only person you can really influence the most is yourself, is your inner self. So you've changed through those relationships and you've learned, and now you came out on the other side. Maybe you've been single for some time, maybe you were by yourself, and I'm not kind of talking only exclusively about romantic relationships. I'm talking about anything and anyone who becomes a mirror to you, who becomes close to you, so that you can see yourself more clearly in them. So if then you go into another relationship after, let's say, those two tumultuous ones or three tumultuous ones, and you've taken some time to heal, and you've been through therapy, and you've been through emotional, spiritual development, and you meet someone and you see kind of similar patterns coming again, you'd be thinking, but how? Like, I thought I've learned this lesson. I thought this is something that is gone, and I've been through this. So first of all, why am I getting not even, I don't ever want to sort of say, why am I getting this person? Because I don't want to shift focus on another person. The focus should only be on you. You are the focus in this. Doesn't matter about anyone else. You are the focus, and your emotions are the focus. And I believe that we spend too much time trying to decipher of what this person is feeling, how are they feeling this, why did they say that, and not enough time thinking about ourselves. I don't know what this person is feeling, let's say, and how would I know if I don't ask? And even if I ask, they may be not wanting to tell me, or they might be embarrassed to reveal everything, or it's too early, or am I rushing things, or whatever this person says is how I feel, and how I can sit, first of all, with the feeling of, I don't know, I really don't know, and I need to be patient, and also excitement, how excited I am, what's been opening up for me, how sad I am, how anxious I am, what type of anxiety it is, and in my body, what I've been feeling for the last couple of weeks. First of all, it's really impacting my sleep. So I can definitely feel like my nervous system is going double or three times the speed of the normal kind of day to day when I am in this within this experience. And my nervous system is so I don't want to say fragile, but it's so sensitive that anything like this, nothing is really happening, nothing kind of bad is happening. It's just being in this situation after a period of not being in this situation sends my nervous system into frenzy. And it's almost fun to watch, because like if I stood back, because these are all bodily function. These are hormones, probably adrenaline, I don't know, whatever goes in my body, the energy, and this is a very physical kind of signs of this. So I'm feeling very energetic, and in the same thing I am kind of drained also, and also full of energy. I can go with no sleep for a long time. With normally I would be like slouching and not being able to do anything. The adrenaline that is being produced, it's funny how the body just goes by itself. My mind is quite quiet, I would say, and I do lots of meditation. So when I wake up at night, and my body goes, it's just going in its own speed, and is so like ready to jump out of bed or do whatever. It doesn't want to sleep. I would sit down and I would go into meditation, and mind races as well, but there is a part of me, because I've trained myself and I've been doing meditation for a long time now. And when I say I'm doing meditation, is sitting in the quiet, is sitting and trying not to fidget for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whenever, finding a time. When I'm talking about meditation, is not it's not like a Buddhist monk that I'm going in meditation and elevating and being like total zen and quiet. Is for me is sitting down. If the mind wants to be busy, I can bring up the mind back to my breathing as much as I can. If the thoughts are racing, I observe them. The thoughts are racing, like running, and it's fine. I am just accepting whatever is going on in my body. I am trying to come back to breathing as much as I can. I'm trying to feel into my body from my toes to the top of my head, and all of those practices help me come back to my body. It also helps that I am now near the sea and near the beach and near the wind, and all those elements. I've spoken about this before. They are clearing. They are especially wind and the water, they clean off your emotion. Then they definitely help to regulate the nervous system. Doesn't mean that I sleep much better. It's just I am just in this state that I'm not going crazy. And in the same time, I'm thinking it's no different to how it was with all the relationships. I remember those states in all the relationships. My body must remember this state from all the relationships, when kind of you are in uncertainty, when you, I don't know, when you are happy, but in the same time you are sad and you are nervous. This is my experience, by the way, and obviously yours might be a bit different. I would be really interested to see how other people, how you experience that, because of my sensitivity and as if my nervous system is actually outside of me, almost not inside of me. So for you, it might look a little bit different. There might be different experiences or physical experiences. It sometimes is a heart that's racing, right? Sometimes it's just uncontrollable bursting out laughing or crying. And yes, and it's just interesting of how these bodily function remember the states from 10, 20 years ago. Nothing that much changed from that, but my reaction, my mental reactions have changed, and how I can accept myself and how I can soothe myself, and the whole plethora of different tools that I have. So for example, the other day or yesterday, I remembered that there is this butterfly hug that you can do, and I really recommend that. Try to Google butterfly hug. It's from the EMDR technique. It's basically you put your hands on your collarbones and you intertwine your thumbs and you kind of do tapping, and this is really helping to calm the nervous system. So I remember that from one of my therapy sessions. It was introduced by my therapist. I also obviously the meditation I also have done for a couple of weeks, several weeks now. I have done some journaling specifically about the positive things that are happening in my life. So it's really quite easy to write and remember positive things. With sometimes when you are in this state, the kind of up and down is hard to focus on what was the positive, because everything is so intertwined with things that are maybe a bit painful, especially going back to these old wounds. And one of the things as well that helped me was basically just crying, releasing all the emotions, releasing them outside through the tears. I haven't cried in a long time, and it wasn't a bad cry. I guess I was just releasing the old stories, because this what's happening now, it's new. It doesn't, I don't want to give it a specific meaning of this or that, but I've got so many other stories that were either similar or very similar, ended in a painful way, or I've been hurt, but also obviously happy ones. So there are butterflies in the stomach. So it's like you are in a hallway that goes somewhere, and then on the side there are many doors to your past. And because I am in this energy of when you kind of starting relationship, or in the sphere, I don't even know if that's the start of relationship, to be honest. There are definitely some elements of that. So there is lots of uncertainty, there's lots of happiness, there's lots of I'd say pain as well, or maybe not suffering, but kind of, and it's related to the past. And it's as if I'm opening all these doors, and I am in a draft of the past that just coming swooping up, and I am thinking about what if. And the thing with all of that is you cannot stop thinking what if. And obviously your ego wants to defend you and wants to enclose you and support you so you don't get hurt. And the first thing you do is, like, when things like this are happening, is that you think of the worst case scenario, or you think of, no, it's best not to go into that when I'm feeling this uncertain, because what if, and then I end up hurt, and then I cannot trust, other people's intentions because I've been hurt so many times. But obviously, if that was the case, you would never do anything new. You would be always scared to start something with anyone, because in the beginning you have to put a little bit of this trust of yourself into this other situation. Without trust, without giving a little bit of trust, without putting yourself a little bit out there, or for the other person or for the other people, nothing has a chance to start. And I was actually thinking, for the amount of, and probably your experience as well, because I believe that you are quite sensitive if you're listening to this, for the amount of times that you've been hurt, you've been betrayed, or maybe you've been in a situation that you kind of hurt someone, or you've done things that were not we're hurting the other people. But for the hard situation, if you came out on the other side and you are still sensitive and you are still in touch with your emotions, that's how I feel I am. And I am even more, I think. I didn't lose this sense of I trust people, to the point almost sometimes that I am quite gullible, that I give people more trust than maybe they deserve. And again, this awareness about this is there, so that's fine. I don't want to be different. I was thinking how maybe easy would be if I was harder, like have a really hard, and then my heart would be hard. I hope you understand my English and my accent. So if that was hard, maybe I would have easier life, because this would prevent me from being hurt. But then I love my sensitivity. My sensitivity is something that have been with me through the whole of my life, and it's been called out by people saying, oh, you are so sensitive, you are so sensitive. That's my power. And then my question to those is, and which I am going to ask more, is, and so what? What do you mean by this? What do you mean by saying something like this? Because for me, it's my power. It makes me more open, yes, to getting hurt, yes, but it also makes me more open to receive joy and happiness, to be curious, to be more childlike, to not be closed up and only operate from my brain, to be free and frivolous and passionate, because I am so in touch with my emotions. So I don't want ever to be closed on that. Obviously, it would be great if I could be really a good judge of people's character and people's intentions. But for me, I can only operate in what I see, and also obviously take the lessons of not to give all of myself straight away, or this is actually not the first lesson. The first lesson that I've learned and that I want to go by, and it's my core value. And ask yourself about this core value of yours. But many years ago, when someone said that, I was like, no, this other person is so important, I cannot do that. And now I know this is the core thing. In anything, in any situation, you take care of yourself. You make sure that you are taken care of. And if you don't know how to do it, imagine a little child inside you. You are taking care of this little child. You are taking care of this little Alice, Rob, whoever, Victoria, whoever there is. And this is the most important part in any relationship. Later on, when things are more clear and you are really kind of feeling secure and everything, obviously you take care and responsibility for this person, for your friend, whoever, whatever situation is. In the beginning, when things are like this, you double the focus on yourself. And it could be through anything you like. It could be through really pursuing some hobby and learning new things and doing fun stuff for yourself and getting a manicure and putting a face mask, watching your favorite show, speaking to your friends with real passion, anything, going on holidays, anything that you can do for yourself. And you have to double this when you are in something like this, when you are kind of in a start of relationship, or any really situation that kind of brings this vulnerability, this opening, this other doors that you thought were closed, and making you more feeling maybe insecure, or the opening, the abandonment wounds and things like this. This is the double focus on yourself, and also being curious of how this is how my body reacts, and not really making yourself to be this emotion. So I was thinking about, let's say I am dizzy, or I am really confused, which means I'm a little bit sad. It's kind of like this emotion complicated, that I am sad and happy, and it's fine. You are all these emotions are happening in you, but you are not those emotions. So you are not the sadness. You are still you. You are still Mark. You are still Bob. You are still whatever. The emotion is in you, and that's how I was trying to kind of. This is the separation, but it's not like this association is just observing this emotion. It's happening in you. It's like, I don't know, like if you had wet socks, you wearing wet socks. It's not very comfortable, but it's kind of within you. For a moment you cannot take those wet socks off, but they will dry off. When you get home, maybe you can take them off, or you can take one of them off, or you can try and take off some water off the socks. But the wet socks are not you. It's just like it's part of you, and you are walking in them, and you are noticing them, and maybe you cold because of these wet socks, but still they are not you. So I don't know if to compare those emotions to wet socks is a good comparison, but just not making those emotions and those feelings you. It's just observing them, and sometimes, and with acceptance and with love, and sometimes with curiosity. And like with me, I let those emotions kind of take me on, and then cry them off. Is a very good comparison. I'm so proud of myself, as if you take a sock and you squeeze the water out to make the sock less wet, and then you put it back on because it's your sock, it belongs to you. Otherwise you walk barefoot and hurt your feet. So emotions are there to also defend you, to show you what's happening, to guide you as well sometimes, but they are not here to be you. You are you. You are infinitive being, timeless soul, spiritual being, that is put here in this body to experience that. So yes, is it easy? No, it's not easy, because you are very, especially if you're in tune with your body, if you feel deeply to the core of your being, to your soul, it could feel like this is your soul. Your soul is now sadness. Your soul is now craziness. Your soul feels the hurt and the sadness so much because it's afraid of being abandoned, or you feel such a happiness and you are afraid that happiness is going to disappear, and then what you're going to do then? You want to stay in this happiness, and it's so intense, all of those feelings. So no wonder that you feel them as if they were you, but they are not you. The timeless, like I said, soul, the spiritual being having this human experience. So looking at it from the spiritual point actually helped me as well in that too. And thank you so much for listening, and it kind of structurized the things for me as well. And it's it's helpful to kind of come out of this and put myself as an observer there, almost as if I was listening to my own podcast, and hoping that it helped you the same way. Thank you so much for listening today. And give this podcast a like as always, and I speak to you soon. Bye bye.